Imagine waking up every morning, bleary-eyed, groggy, barely human, only to be greeted not by coffee or the sunrise, but by a giant mustachioed face reminding you that he is watching you. That's 1984. A book where the only thing more oppressive than the government is the relentless sense of dread that creeps in like mold on an old shower curtain. George Orwell didn't just write a novel. He lobotomized optimism and mounted it on a pike. This is a story where freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength, and if you see four fingers, you damn well better say it's five, or prepare for a little quality time in room 101. Winston Smith, our melancholy everyman, is a bureaucratic cog in the Ministry of Truth, which, as you may have guessed, specializes in the exact opposite. His job is to erase the past so thoroughly that not even nostalgia survives the purge. He edits newspapers, deleting the names of disgraced party members like digital history's backspace key, only this is 1949, and the delete key wears jackboots. Oceania is the setting. It's a superstate where the party controls everything, from your breakfast rations to your innermost thoughts. There are four ministries: truth, peace, love, and plenty, all hilariously misnamed. The Ministry of Peace wages endless war. The Ministry of Love tortures you until you love Big Brother. Or, more accurately, until your personality dissolves into warm obedience. It's a government built on gaslighting, where reality itself is on a drip feed of whatever suits the party's needs that week. Winston doesn't buy into it, not fully. He's quietly skeptical, which in this world is about as dangerous as shouting obscenities in a library full of nuns with tasers. He starts writing in a diary, an act of rebellion so unthinkable that even possessing a blank notebook is practically treasonous. And the entries, "Down with Big Brother," scrawled in a kind of fevered desperation. Honestly, it's hard to say whether Winston is brave, broken, or simply too tired to keep pretending. Then comes Julia. She's younger, bolder, and possibly slightly more sane, though in a world this twisted, sanity is just another form of betrayal. Their relationship starts with secret notes, furtive glances, and rapidly escalates into woodland trysts that feel more like guerrilla warfare than romance. Sex in 1984 isn't just physical, it's political. The party wants to turn love into a crime and pleasure into heresy. Julia rebels with her body, Winston with his mind. Together, they share hope, and like most hope in Orwell's world, it's doomed from the start. Enter O'Brien, part mentor, part father figure, and eventually the guy who sticks your head in a cage full of rats. At first, he seems like a fellow conspirator, a high-ranking insider with revolutionary sympathies. But this is 1984, where trust is a trap and betrayal is inevitable. O'Brien is the ultimate party loyalist, erudite, calm, and methodical in the way he dismantles Winston's mind like an old watch. There's a moment where Winston cries out, "You haven't even killed me yet." And O'Brien smiles, because death would be a mercy. The party doesn't just want obedience, it wants conversion. Language is the party's favorite weapon. Newspeak isn't just a lexicon, it's a philosophy with all the nuance of a frying pan to the face. Words like free, justice, and love at out of meaning, leaving behind a linguistic husk that can't hold rebellion. Orwell understood that if you control language, you control thought. It's not enough to stop people from saying dangerous things, you must make them incapable of thinking them. And then there's the past. Slippery, transient, utterly expendable. The party rewrites history daily, not to correct mistakes, but to make them retroactively impossible. Oceania has always been at war with East Asia, even though last Tuesday it was Eurasia. Citizens are expected to believe both the old and the new, simultaneously. That's doublethink, the art of holding two contradictory ideas in your head and accepting both. It's the mental equivalent of swallowing glass while insisting it's pudding. The horror of 1984 isn't in the dystopian aesthetics. It's not the gray walls or the lack of decent food or even the telescreens monitoring your every sneeze. It's the psychological violation. It's being told that your memories are wrong, your thoughts are criminal, and your love is treasonous. And just when you think you've found some kind of escape, Orwell reminds you that no one escapes the party, not even in death. The ending? Let's just say it's not exactly, and they lived happily ever after. It's more like, and then they were broken into obedient, hollow vessels who loved the very force that destroyed them. It's bleak, unflinching, and depressingly plausible. because that's the real terror of 1984. It isn't science fiction in the pew-pew lasers sense. It's prophecy by way of pessimism. Orwell didn't give us a crystal ball. He gave us a cracked mirror, reflecting the ugliest parts of the 20th century and warning us what happens when power becomes absolute and truth becomes optional. And while you might be reading it from a cozy couch with your Wi-Fi and your oat milk latte, make no mistake, some of the most Orwellian features of modern life wear very cheerful disguises. Surveillance is now user-friendly. Corporations know more about your personal life than your therapist. News cycles are rewritten faster than memory can catch up. And doublethink? Try scrolling social media for 10 minutes and count how many contradictory hot takes you're expected to nod along to. So yes, 1984 is grim, but it's not meant to depress, it's meant to wake you up. Orwell didn't write it because he hated the future. He wrote it because he feared a future where people stopped caring, where the truth became negotiable, where the boot doesn't just stomp on the human face, it sells you the boot as a fashion accessory and charges you for shipping. Read it, reread it, give a copy to someone who thinks it's just a meme. Because in a world saturated with distraction, denial, and curated digital realities, Orwell's message hasn't aged a day. If anything, it's just getting started.